So Black Myth Wukong finally making his debut on the Xbox platforms, and it's very quite interesting because there's a lot of controversy going on about this, and a lot of people in the Xbox community is actually like turned off on the situation. They're like, "Hey, we're not buying this game now because you lied to us." The developers of Black Myth Wukong lied to each and every person. There's been a lot of controversy with this game ever since its release. Yes, it was critically acclaimed. It won a crap load of awards during the award season. I played the game. I enjoyed the game, but there's a lot of controversy with this game. Hey, everybody, if you're new to the channel, please do me a favor. Click that like and subscribe button. It would help out a lot. So when I'm talking about the controversy, what you may or may not know was this game was released on the PlayStation 5, and when people like Phil Spencer were asked about when is it coming over to Xbox, he didn't really have a whole lot to say because there's not a lot he could say. But the people behind Black Myth Wukong said that it was due to the limitations of the Xbox Series S, and that's why there was no Xbox port. But as Jez Corden from Windows Central pointed out, man, Black Myth Wukong, 1 year to the day. Very curious, very interesting that they announced Black Myth Wukong on the Xbox 1 year exactly to its release. And that brings up a lot of questions and a lot of drama. And a lot of Xbox fans are really kind of just, throwing their hands up in the air like, we're not going to support this game now. Like, it isn't that it was timed exclusive. It was that you lied to us. The fact that you said that the limitations of the Xbox Series S was the reason why this game wasn't on the Xbox platform. If they would have just came out and said, hey, look, Sony came in with the bag. They do this all the time. They did this with Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade was supposed to be a PC and a Xbox game as well. Sony came in with the bag, and then it was a timed exclusive. If the people behind Black Myth Wukong would have simply just came out and said, hey, Sony came in, we made a deal with them, it's a timed exclusive, I think a lot of the reaction on Twitter and online would be more accepting. But the fact that they said, hey, no, it's due to the limitation of the Xbox Series S, where everybody knew that was a lie because I run it on my Steam Deck. It's 30 frames per second, but I can run it on my Steam Deck. It's playable on my Steam Deck. And no one is going to tell me that the Xbox Series S is a worse console than my Steam Deck. It is a better console than my Steam Deck. And you're telling me that Black Myth Wukong can't run on it, but yet it can run on my Steam Deck? I find that very hard to believe. If the Xbox Series S isn't better than my Steam Deck, it is at least on the same level as my Steam Deck. So it can run on that, but it can't run on the Xbox Series S or X hardware. And that just turned a lot of people off. Me personally, it kind of turned me off on the game as well. Like I said, I already own the game. I own it on Steam, so I can't like boycott the Xbox version. I guess I can just not buy the Xbox version. I wasn't planning on buying the Xbox version anyway, but I can see where a lot of Xbox fans would be turned off by this situation. The fact that, they came out, they lied, and they blame. I think the worst part about it is the fact that they blamed it on the Xbox Series S. It seems like whenever there's something going on and games aren't coming on the Xbox hardware, everybody always goes back to blaming the Xbox Series S. It feels like the Series S is the scapegoat of the gaming industry. Oh, we can't talk about this shady deal we did with PlayStation. Blame the Series S. Oh, the Series S is the reason why we can't do this. The Series S is the reason why we can't do that. And I think people are starting to get tired of that because it's just not true. It's simply not true. And I think people are starting to call BS on that because we know it's not true. Because we have these other handhelds, whether it be, the Steam Deck, or we see games like Hellblade 2 or other big games like Starfield running on the Series S. And then you're telling me Black Myth Wukong is so big, so advanced, it cannot possibly run on the Series S? The one thing gamers do not like is being lied to. Just be straight up with them. You took the bag. You took the PlayStation bag. We might not like it, but we can accept it as gamers. But to come and sit there and lie to us like just blatantly lie to everybody and then throw hardware underneath the bus and blame this hardware and make this hardware look like it's irrelevant, even though I feel like the Series S is a really good console. I think it's a very good console. It's a great budget console to get. I don't know so much now with the prices going up, but if you can get it for $299, it's a great budget console to get. And you can play all next-gen games on it. So for the team behind Black Myth Wukong just to sit there and throw the Series S under the bus and then just blatantly lie, I can see why there's so much backlash going on right now on Twitter and social media, where Xbox fans are like, you lied to us, it's too late, and we're not going to support this game. Is this game going to sell well on Xbox? I think there's going to be some people out there who's not in the know that's going to say, hey, I heard a lot about Black Myth Wukong. It did really good at the Game Awards. I think I'm going to pick this game up. I think there's going to be people out there that does that. But I think the people that follow this stuff are not going to pick this game up. They're going to put their foot down and not put it up. And it has nothing to do with it being on Game Pass. Despite popular belief, people do buy games on Xbox. It isn't always about Game Pass. People do buy software on Xbox. But when you lie about stuff like this, you lie about why it hasn't come, it's definitely going to turn people off. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it, guys. What do you guys think about Black Myth Wukong finally coming over to the Xbox? Are you going to support it? How do you feel about the whole drama, the tea, and the lies behind why it never appeared on the Xbox platform? Leave those comments in the comment box below. Smash that like button, and I'll check you guys out next time.